From Blake Griffin's memorable dunk in the 2011 NBA contest to Mac McClung becoming an internet sensation owing to his AT&T slam dunk performance. These are the dunks that are still talked about just as much as when they happened. Starting with Blake Griffin's dunk at the 2011 contest, which set the precedent for the new decade. If you type in his name on YouTube, the 2011 dunk contest is the first search that pops up. Yes, it was that good. The man practically jumped over a Kia Optima, caught a pass through the sunroof, and threw down a phenomenal two-handed dunk. As expected, the 34-year-old was awarded a perfect 50 points for the dunk, and of course, the crowd erupted in applause. What solidified Griffin's name in the Hall of Dunk fame is because of the level of difficulty involved. I mean, jumping over a car isn't exactly everyone's cup of tea. Factoring the fact he caught the ball through the sunroof added to the difficulty mix. Over the years, a ton of players have tried to replicate the move. Terrence Ross jumped over a ball boy at the 2013 dunk contest, and John Wall attempted his stunt by jumping over Wizards mascot G Wiz in 2014. That said, none of the players have received the acclamation that my boy Griffin did. While the Kia dunk may have won Griffin the contest, it wasn't solely because of it. Throughout the contest, his performance was consistently good enough for him to win the title of Dunk Champion. Speaking of jumping over ball boys, let's talk about Terrence Ross's stunt. The 32-year-old wowed the crowd with multiple impressive dunks throughout the competition, but what won him the contest was in the final round. The crowd was seated at the edge as the man came off the baseline, jumped over the ball boy, went between the legs, and then dunked the ball with one hand. It sounds complicated to say, but wait till you watch how he did it. Rightfully so, Ross received a perfect score of 50 points. Not only did he win the dunk contest, but the epic moment put his name as one of the greatest dunkers of all time. So multiple things are going on here that made his move pretty gosh darn difficult. First of all, he was jumping over a boy, and factoring in moving the ball between his legs just makes it all the more challenging. What's interesting is that Ross wore a jersey that paid tribute to one of the greatest dunkers of all time. Of course, I'm talking about a Vince Carter Raptor jersey. His win also earned him the status of one of the most exciting young players in the league. Fast forward a few years, Andrew tried a similar dunk in 2016. He jumped over J.J. Barea and threw down a one-handed dunk, but it wasn't as clean as Ross's and didn't receive the same praise. Well, the next player on my list did such a spectacular job that his performance is counted as one of the most iconic moments in NBA history. Zachary LaVine won the 2015 dunk contest as he put in one of the most impressive performances, period. What's interesting is that his most memorable dunk wasn't in any of the final rounds. It was actually the first round when the player caught the ball off the bounce from behind the backboard. He threw it between his legs and dunked with a single hand. Simply magic. LaVine received a perfect 50 points because of his superior combination of athleticism and creativity. The first round definitely sealed the deal for him, but he had really impressive dunks throughout the competition. I'm talking about between the legs from the free throw line, and even a behind the back dunk that he carried out with authority. His performance easily earned him the title of the Dunk Champion. So his dunks were the most creative as far as dunks go, but the ease and fluidity he puts forward set him miles apart from other players. Alan Gordon, Victor Oladipo, and Donovan Mitchell all tried to replicate LaVine's dunk, but their work wasn't as impressive as his. The next year, LaVine returned to defend his title, and guess what? The man didn't disappoint. His overall performance earned him his second consecutive title as Dunk Champion. Staying on the page of epic dunks within the first round, Donovan Mitchell displayed a stellar performance throughout the 2018 NBA Dunk Contest. Much like LaVine, Mitchell's best dunk came in the first round too. He caught the ball off the side of the backboard, threw it between his legs, and dunked it with one hand. hand. The entire thing happened super quickly and smoothly that the moment has gone down as one of the best in dunk history. He received a score of 48 points for it. I know it isn't a perfect score as others on the list, but his entire performance was still pretty impressive. The thing that added to the difficulty of the dunk was his going between his legs midair, and considering the fact he caught the ball off the side of the backboard really added to the moment. His overall performance in the competition earned him the title of dunk champion. While it was the first round that was the best, he had several impressive ones too. These included a tomahawk dunk while jumping over Kevin Hart and a double pump reverse dunk. Now, while our previous player may have jumped over someone not so tall, the next on my list jumped over who some might call a giant, because Hamidou Diallo jumped over Shaquille O'Neal in the final round of the 2019 dunk contest. The show-stopping performance was also one of his most memorable dunks ever. The man jumped over Shaq, took the ball from him while in midair, and then pushed it through the hoop with his elbow in the rim. I mean, jumping over another player is one thing. Shaq? That's legit record-breaking territory. The 24-year-old received a clean 50 points for it, and if there were any scores more than that, he would have won those as well. I mean, Shaq is above 7 feet, and jumping over him is certainly no small feat. Considering he did that while grabbing the ball and shooting it was nothing short of spectacular. Apart from the legendary dunk that solidified his status as the dunk champion, he had some pretty impressive performances throughout. One of them was a powerful windmill dunk. As of yet, nobody has even tried to replicate Diallo's legendary dunk. And honestly, since there aren't really many people who are as massive as Shaq out there, I don't think anyone will be able to match him. That being said, the next NBA dunk champion on my list isn't far behind from being considered a legend either. After all, Anthony Simons won the 2021 dunk contest by executing one of the most flawless double pump reverse dunks. It was the first round, and the player pushed his limits and was clearly rewarded for it. His superior athletic abilities earned him 46 points for it, which, though not perfect, was a remarkable achievement. Now, the double pump reverse dunk is quite complicated as it is. It requires supreme control over the body and excellent timing, all of which Simons executed flawlessly. His consistently brilliant performance earned him the dunk champion title. The double pump wasn't the only impressive dunk, as he successfully executed a two-handed reverse windmill dunk in the final round. The 2021 contest cemented his status as one of the best dunk players in the league, leaving fans excited for the future. Finally, it would be a crime if I didn't include Mac McClung on this list. I mean, the G League player for the Delaware Bluecoats won the AT&T Slam Dunk Contest in 2023. He executed a perfect 50-point in all but one of his dunks. It was the final when McClung beat Trey Murphy with a 360-degree plus reverse dunk. His dunks from high school had already made him a YouTube sensation, and to do that professionally just put his fame over the edge. Also, it was super cute to see him give such a stellar performance wearing his high school jersey. And there you have it, the NBA dunks that are still talked about today.